In our SwiftUI series, we have been seeing components one by one. So far, we have discussed VStack, HeadStack, how to reuse the views, navigation stack, list, and then toolbar. To make it interesting, we are going to see gradient colors today. Using gradient colors always enhances the look and feel of the user interface, right? So let's go ahead and play with some colors. Today we are going to cover different types of gradients such as linear gradient, radial one, and then angular. After that, using these gradients for background colors, shape fills, and also how to use this for text colors. Here I have created one project so that we can play around it. First let's create a shape. I'm creating one rectangle shape, and then we can do some gradients in this particular shape. I'm just filling this rectangle with the color like red. If you give dot gradient, it automatically takes the gradient for that particular color, which starts from some basic light color to the dark one. So this is how we can simply give some gradient colors. Let's see how to use the linear gradient with more than one colors. Just remove it and create a linear gradient with colors. So here we can give the colors in an array. I'm just adding 3 to 4 colors. Green, yellow, orange, and then red. So start and end point are nothing but the start and ending point of the gradient. So if we give, like, there are multiple options, so in that I'm just giving leading, and for the end point I'm just giving trailing. See how the gradient is spread from left to right. Similarly, we can have many options, right? So you can work around it and try different options and see how it works. Let's see one more thing, and that is I'm just giving top leading as a start point, and for the end point I'm giving bottom trailing. So see how it starts from top leading and it actually ends in the bottom trailing. So this is how you can use different start and end points based on your requirements. The next thing that we are going to see is a radial gradient. Radial gradient is used when you need a gradient in circular forms. So let's try to implement that. For ease of understanding, I'm just changing this rectangle to circle, and we are going to replace this linear gradient. Let's add a radial gradient. Similar to linear gradient, we are just giving the colors in a array. Just add some purple color and then blue, green, yellow. Okay, and the center point, the center is nothing but circle's center, the gradient's center. So if you had a center, it will take the center of the parent view and the start radius. Let's give like 10, so it starts from 10 radius and it ends in like 150. Okay, so this is how it looks. So if I'm just changing the center, like on the top, the center part will be replaced to the top of the parent view. So this is how you can change the center as per your requirements. So let's have it as center. And the start and end radius, this is nothing but the start point and the end point. Consider like if I'm starting from only 100 and ending at 150, it starts from this point, that is 100, and it is ending at 150. Consider if I am starting from 10 and I'm just ending it in 50. It started at the point 10 and it got ended at 50. This is how you can change the start and end radius and the centers. By combining these three options, you can achieve what type of gradient and in what form you want it. Next gradient that we are going to see is angular gradient. So as the name says, the gradient will spread based on the angles that we are giving. So let's try to change this radial gradient into an angular one. Similarly, we are just giving the colors. It starts from purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, and then pink. As we saw in the radial gradient, the center is nothing but the center point of the gradient that we are giving. So here we can just give the center as the center of the parent view. See how the colors are splitted across the angles of the circle. So if you change the center to any other things like top leading, okay, so it will be like here, it starts from here and it spread across the different circle, so it won't look good in that case. So it is always good to choose a correct and exact center point as per our requirements. So for our requirement, the center part will be the center of the parent view. This looks good now. As we saw so far, we can give this gradients like linear, radial, or angular. We can give these gradients to any components and use it as a background or foreground colors and fill the shapes like that. One more thing that we are going to see is how to give the gradient colors for the text. So let's just add a text. I'm just using SwiftUI as text, and I'm just changing the font size, system font and type T, and I'm just giving the font weight as heavy. Okay, so this is how it looks. So let's now increase the size so that you can easily see the gradient colors. Okay, then for the colors, gradient colors, you have to use a foreground style. So in this style, you can simply add a gradient color like as we did before for the shape fill. For now I'm using a linear gradient with the colors blue and green. Starting point would be leading and trailing is the end point. So could you see how the gradient works for the text. Similarly, you can add any kind of gradients and any colors for the text. I hope this topic gradient is interesting as we were playing with colors. This is all we have for today. If you want to see our other videos in SwiftUI series, you can check out the link that I've given in the description. And we also have other series in iOS development and DSA with Swift. You can also check it out. Please do support and subscribe our channel and also share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye.